this Jeep. Is your mama gonna buy it? Yeah. Lucky! My mama says when I turn 16, this baby's gonna be mine and it's still under warranty. What's a warranty? I don't know, but quit asking me questions and let's go to the game. Yeah! Let's go to the game!
Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you out to East Lawrence Elementary today, and we welcome the new principal, Miss Melanie McLemore.
Wow, that's good to hear.
Isn't it?
It feels really good.
Beautiful sign out in front with a smiling face, welcoming you. I know that had to make you feel very well.
It did. It was very well. It was kind of a dreary morning,
Mm-hmm.
and the sun was very nice at my house when I left this morning. It got a little dreary, and I was like, I asked the good Lord, was he putting me to a test? And he said, no, I believe you can pass this one that you already have. And I feel like I'm coming home. So it's a really good feeling.
Wonderful, Melanie. Now, you have to share with us because you started out your education in Dublin City and grew up a portion of your young life here, and then, moved. So share that with us. Let everyone know about you.
Well, I'm very proud to say that I'm a product of Lawrence County Schools. I went to Hillcrest Elementary and had wonderful teachers there. And I left there when I was in the 5th grade because my parents were devoted children, and my father's mother was ill. And so we moved back to Toombs County, where I graduated from high school in Toombs County. And then I went to Georgia Southern. I have 3 degrees from Georgia Southern.
Awesome.
And I've had experience at East Lawrence High School because I taught there for 12 years. I tell people I actually graduated because I taught there for 12 years. And I absolutely loved it and did the same thing. I left only because my father was ill, and I felt like I needed to go back home. But that's the only reason I left.
So 12 years at East Lawrence High.
Yes.
And so a lot of people in the system, there's no doubt about it.
Yes, I do. I have lots of great friends here, and I was very fortunate because not once did I have an experience in Lawrence County that was anywhere negative whatsoever. I mean, surely as a teacher, especially at the high school, you have challenges, but all those challenges turned out to be positive things in my life. And I cannot tell you, it's such a breath of fresh air to be driving back down this way to East Lawrence, where I feel like I'm home because of all those experiences that shaped me into the person that I am today.
Okay, so what position are you leaving and coming into this one from?
Okay, I am leaving, well, actually I had multiple positions at Montgomery County because it's a small county.
Yes.
I was the Career Technical and Agricultural Education Director, CTAE, which a lot of people know as vocational. I was also Federal Programs Coordinator. I was working with our current superintendent for Title I and things like that. Professional learning, curriculum and instruction, and that's a lot. So those were my 4 titles when I was in Montgomery County.
Wore several hats, and a qualified person in the education system anywhere close to this size wears more than one hat, I've found.
Yes, it is, and to me, I think that's one of the things that shaped me as a leader, and has given me. I don't know where I could have gotten that much experience, in such a short period of time, because I did stay in the classroom for almost 20 years. And I did not want to leave the classroom because I was a disgruntled teacher or that I aspired to be a leader or anything like that. I left the classroom because, and let me clarify, I will never truly leave the classroom. I will always be a teacher. I'm a teacher of children, teacher of teachers, and now hopefully a teacher of leaders as well as teachers. But I ventured out of the classroom because I was called to do so. And I believe that I have fulfilled God's purpose thus far, and that I will continue to do so as elementary principal here at East Lawrence Elementary. Almost said high school.
Oh, wait, this will die hard. But it's so good, and after 12 years of saying I work at East Lawrence, I'm at East Lawrence High School, on and on. I'm sure you see parents come through here with the children now that you taught, or you will.
I will. I haven't. It's kind of been a barrage this morning, and a very exciting barrage. And I'm very happy to meet my assistant principal, Miss Marcy Poole, who is highly capable, I can tell already. And I'm very excited because she's an instructional leader, And in this day and age, you really have to have people who have a curriculum background. You know, we can't just have it. We can't just go back to the days where the assistant principal was the one who just did all the discipline and who took care of the building and all that. Now you need two strong leaders that really have curriculum backgrounds and knowledge of what's going on with your standards and all the rigor and relevance and all those educational ease terms. We have to have two people that have that understanding, and I'm extremely excited about Ms. Poole and having her here.
I'm sure you are. She has a great reputation.
I've heard, and I'm really happy to. And when people tell you good things about people and you don't solicit that information, in other words, they just give it to
Sure.
you willingly,
Sure.
then you know for sure that those things are true.
That's wonderful. It really is wonderful. Now, if we look on to what your goals may be, now you're coming into I'd say, pretty good situation from what I know.
I agree, it is a good situation, and I can tell you why I think it is a good one. It's because East Lawrence Elementary was in a focus school status, and they managed the process for 3 years. And the reason I have knowledge of this now is it's very difficult because Montgomery County Schools just went into 2 schools with focus school status. And that basically means that, the reason that Montgomery County got it was the bottom quartile. They did not close the achievement gap.
Sure.
And what Ms. Poole was just sharing with me is that the data that goes along with that is the schools that come out of this focus school status, like East Lawrence Elementary has, they've learned, they've grown. They're still going to implement some of the same things that they have before. And that's exactly what we're committed to doing, to maintaining the things that brought us out of that focus school status. And having someone like Ms. Poole that has worked in it, and having the teachers in here that has worked, and we have a good recidivism rate. We have teachers who love this place and stay here.
Good.
Having those things combined, along with a caring staff, which I'm already getting that vibe in the building, I think that's going to help us maintain and never go back to a status that we are going to have to work so hard to prove that we're already a good school. Because let's face it, some of these things that are assigned to schools these days aren't necessarily fair.
Yes, but it's what you have to contend with.
Exactly. This is like I like to tell people, you know, this is where we live, literally and figuratively. This is where we live, and we can't control what happens or what people put upon us, but we can control what we do with it and how we handle it. And I'm a worker bee, so I'm ready to go.
All right, so the door's open. If anyone from the community, anyone would like to approach you, I'm sure they can contact you here at the school.
Oh, yes, please. I mean, I believe in an open door policy, and our building is actually set up very well for open door policies.
Yes.
You come in, and it's on the left, so I believe in that. I believe in being highly communicative, with parents, a strong communicator that can articulate the vision of the school. And to be able to speak to parents, and I am the middle of 5 children, so I'm pretty good at diplomacy.
I'll bet.
And somebody was joking with me this morning, and I said, "Look, you know, I'm not a diva. That none of that matters to me. I grew up in a small house, 7 people with 1 bathroom. We can make everything work and anything work."
Yes, you can.
So, but I agree with you. I'm coming into a good setup.
Yes, you are.
So-
Yes, you are. The atmosphere's always been very good here. I would say, to put it in layman's terms, the numbers are up,
Yes, they are.
and that's encouraging. That's
It's
what you
very
want to
encouraging.
see for these young people, because as you said earlier, and I hear from many administrators, they miss that classroom. They miss that. That's what they started teaching for. It wasn't a job. It wasn't
That's
a
right.
paycheck. It wasn't an opportunity to have benefits or whatever the other good parts of it are, favorable parts to all of society. It was a need and desire to help students.
I never
educate
even
them.
knew what I made for years. I mean, my husband used to get upset with me because I could not tell you what I made for years. I had no idea what my salary was. And the reason that was is because I cared so little about the money. You know, don't get me wrong, I was happy about the paycheck.
Sure, you needed it.
But, I mean, I needed it, that's correct.
Sure.
But it was never about the money. And nobody in this
for you.
business goes into, and it truly has become a business. Education has become a business.
Of course.
No one goes into this for the money. It is all for the gratification. And I will tell you, my experiences at the elementary school, if you ever have a day where you need to be made to feel better about yourself, you walk into an elementary school setting. This is the most forgiving group of children, and this is a great age. Now, 3 to 5 is probably the most challenging of the elementary years because you have those 2 milestones, used to be CRCT tests, that kind of thing. But this, I can't even begin to tell you, it makes me smile just to think, and it's a universal kind of feeling. Doesn't matter where you are. I mean, really and truly, and I've traveled around the world too, so it doesn't matter where you are. This group of children can truly validate like nobody's business. You know, at the high school level, you're not validated. You may not know until they're gone and grown, you know?
Yes.
Or grown and gone, I should say. But on this level, it's instant gratification. And if you ever need your day made, you just come visit us, because I'm sure we'll be glad to do that for you.
Yeah. All right. What would you say, if you could share with us, your philosophy of education
Okay,
is?
sure. I have a very strong philosophy of education. I am extremely humanistic in my approach to education. I believe in developing growth wherever it may be, not just with the students, but with the teachers as well. And one of the things that I implemented in my former county was professional learning communities, and a lot of educators will know what that is. But unfortunately, they know what it is, but it's not often implemented correctly. It's not a team meeting, it's not a department meeting, it's not anything like that. It truly is a collaboration among teachers. Whatever the setting, it can be mixed grades, it can be mixed subjects, cross-subject areas, whatever, where you are learning about things that are relevant to your school, not necessarily what the state says is relevant. It all kind of ties in. But if your need is, we need to be better consumers of data, well, then you have a professional learning community. If we need to understand the standards that our teachers are being, you know, we've got teachers who don't realize what the expectations are because they haven't been clearly communicated.
Because they changed 2 years ago.
Exactly. So those are the things you do in a professional learning setting, and that feeds my teacher soul. You know, getting to do that with my teachers, I still get to teach. And I can't tell you the collaboration and the spirit of cooperation that comes from those kinds of things. And that's going to be one of my biggest initiatives, is to have that here. As far as, I want people to feel free. You know, even though we've got to do all these things,
Sure.
This is your style. There is no cookie cutter. I don't expect this person to teach this person, or I don't want them to be cookie cutters. I don't want
Right.
that. There's no carbon copy. I have modeled lessons before, but it's always with the caveat that this is just a suggestion. This is just a suggestion.
So you
And we can
encourage
always-
diversity.
Oh, yes, certainly. Embrace it, not just encourage it,
Right.
but embrace it.
Good, good. Well, we probably have a PTA or PTO, whatever we're calling it these days, meeting coming up, right?
Yeah, and I got to get the schedule. I'm sorry. I just got the calendar
Well,
today,
you'll get to meet a
so.
lot of people, and
I
those
know.
notes will be going home, and the communications there. You have a wonderful staff.
Yes, we do. Yes, we
You
do.
really do. The office staff here is always so congenial and welcoming. They make you just feel like you're part of the family here.
Well, and I got that from the moment I walked in this morning. I mean, truly I did. And our school nurse, I know her, I taught her 2 of her children at the high school level. And then there are some other faces that I'm seeing that I recognize, but I'm not quite sure who they are yet. So I'm really
Yeah.
excited to see those people and get to know everyone. But I mean, like you said, I'm coming into a good place. And how many people can say that?
Yes.
I mean, not many people can say, you know, especially this time of the year.
Sure.
You know, if it were the beginning of the year, it's kind of hard for people, and myself included, it's kind of hard for people to start once you've already started.
Sure.
But I'm very confident that all of that's going to be smoothed out, and we will be back in business like nobody's business. I have no doubt.
Wonderful. Miss Melanie McLemore, everyone, the new principal at East Lawrence Elementary. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I look forward to this. It's going to be a very rewarding job. Thank you.
Growth. It's what we all want. It means doing what it takes, getting up every morning and making it happen. And we couldn't agree more. Because your success is our success. At Morris Bank, we're banking on you.
All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, we're at East Lawrence Middle School, and many of you will recognize O.J. Hall. O.J., congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
What a wonderful accomplishment. How long have you been in education at Lawrence County?
This is my 10th year in education in Lawrence County. I started my career back in 2006 at West Lawrence High School as a history teacher, and I was the assistant basketball coach and head middle school boys track coach. And by the time I finished my tenure at West Lawrence High School, I was the head boys basketball coach and assistant principal. So I had an awesome 9-year career there, great mentorship in Clifford Gunto, worked with a great administrative staff and Mr. Warner Kemp and Mr. Randy Gay, and I learned a lot from all those individuals, and I learned countless lessons and knowledge that has helped me progress into a leader today, from the teachers at that school and the school counselors, Ms. Passmore and Ms. Malone as well.
Wow. And what a great staff out there. Right, the opportunity to plug into a very successful school, a team, a real team, and grow. And did you ever grow, O.J.?
I grew a lot.
Yeah.
They truly took the time, and they didn't have to do that to groom me and help me become the educator that I am today. And I'm eternally grateful to all those staff and teachers and faculty over there.
Yeah. And you know, it's going to pay dividends for the young lives that you will continue to shape.
Yes, it will. I started at East Lawrence Middle School on Monday. So the kids were already here. They had been here 3 weeks. So this is my second day here, but we've done a lot already. I had the opportunity to meet with all my 6th graders, 7th graders, and 8th graders. On yesterday during an assembly, I made it a point to walk through every single classroom before I left the building on yesterday during instructional time. I was able to get out in the lunchroom so I can see the kids and they can see me, and we can start to build a relationship with each other. I was able to meet my entire faculty on this past Friday in the afternoon. So we've hit the ground running, but I can tell you this, I've been here a day and a half already, and I can tell you there are a lot of good things going on at East Lawrence Middle School.
That's so encouraging, too. And I'm going to call you Coach because that's what I see you as, no doubt about it. But that's what you are, and that's what you're bringing to the school, in my opinion, O.J. You are a coach.
And I am able to bring that to the table. I've coached for 9 years of my career, and so I do feel like I have the ability to motivate and to encourage and to take us from good to great and to motivate people. And that's all these students need is a little motivation to understand what our goal is, to have a clear goal and vision. I think once we make that goal and vision very clear, it's going to give us a target that we can aim at. We go follow the mission statement of our school district. We go make sure our students know it. They go understand it. They go understand it in depth so they understand where we're trying to go in this process.
So I guess unity is probably one of your first goals.
Unity is my first goal. One of my very first goals is we want to change the culture. Not saying that there's a bad culture, but we want to change the culture, and we're very good. If you go back and look at some of our data from the 2014 CCRPI index here at East Lawrence Middle School, our ELA and reading scores are top of the state. Our math, science, and social studies are right above state average, but not where we want them to be. But then there are other areas like our student growth and the number of students that exceed on these standardized tests that we got a lot of work to do. So we have a very good school, but our goal here as we join together as a family here at East Lawrence Middle School is to make it a great school. And it's not going to happen overnight, but we're going to start taking major steps in that direction. Starting yesterday is when we started. I've had a chance to have a meeting after school with my flex team members, and we have a block in our schedule that we call flex time. So that was already in place when I got here, so we're going to work it to the best of our ability. That's a ton of instructional time, and we're going to make sure we use data and that we strategically place these kids in a situation to be successful. Not just the top kids, not just your bottom kids, but all kids. We're going to focus on that gifted and honors group. We're going to focus on what we consider to be the lower 25% based on data, but the middle group is the biggest, and sometimes they get ignored the most because we're focusing so much on top-bottom, and we forget about that huge group that's in the middle. And so we're just going to try to raise everything to another level. Everything we do from athletics to academics, we're going to try to take it up a notch.
Yeah. Enthusiasm is contagious, and you bring a lot of enthusiasm to the table, O.J. I'm so proud that you're here.
I do. I've always believed that attitude is a reflection of leadership. Kind of like my parents used to tell me, whenever I misbehaved or done something wrong, I was a reflection of them. And I take that same mentality into education as a leader. Attitude is a reflection of leadership. So if I'm negative and if I'm dining out on every new initiative that's rolled out, my teachers are going to be the same way, and that's going to roll over to the students. So I take the opposite. I'm positive. We go do what we got to do. We go do what's best for the kids. And as long as we continue to do what's best for the kids, I think we're going to be fine here at East Lawrence Middle School.
Okay, so you've been through coaching, you've been through as an assistant principal, associate principal at the high school. You dealt with a lot of issues, a lot of problems, maybe we could say a lot of opportunities through life. And so you come into a middle school. What do you think is going to change about that?
One of the biggest things that's going to change being here in the middle school, the kids obviously going to be a lot younger. So maturity becomes an issue. The advantage that I have is what these students and teachers are preparing these students for, which is high school. That's where I've been the last 9 years. So I know where they're going. So it allows me to take a vision and a goal and make it a lot plainer, because I don't have to guess what they're going to run into at the high school. I don't have to assume what they're going to run into at the high school. I've been there for 9 years as a teacher, administrator, and coach. So I know what it takes to be successful at the high school in the classroom, as an administrator, and in athletics. And so by me knowing that, I'm going to be able to encourage and coach my teachers and my coaches and my staff on what's required and what's needed to prepare these kids for the next level in their educational journey.
Gosh, you've shared so much with us, but I want to ask you, if you had to share your philosophy of education with us right now, what would you say that?
My philosophy of education is all students can learn. It's just a matter of how we go about teaching them that's going to determine how much they learn. I think we got to have clear goals and not send mixed signals. We got to understand that all students are going to go into different phases of life, whether it's industry, whether it's their own business, whether it's college, whether it's trade school, whether it's the military, and we got to tap into all of those options. We just can't look at a kid and because they're struggling in one or two areas say they're not school material. Everybody is school material in some form or fashion. Some of my greatest lessons have come from people that don't have college degrees. Everybody is school material in some level, and we just got to tap into what those areas are and encourage those students that while you're on this path to be great in this area, you got to pick this up along the way to get where you're trying to go.
Wow. What a wonderful conversation, ladies and gentlemen, we've had here with Mr. O.J. Hall. He's the principal at East Lawrence Middle School, and we welcome you and congratulate you. I know great things are ahead for you.
And I'm glad to be here. This faculty has welcomed me with open arms, and I'm excited about the opportunity to be here. I'm grateful to the Lawrence County Board of Education and Superintendent Dr. Alligood for giving me this experience, and I think we're going to build a great family here at East Lawrence Middle School, one day at a time.
I know you will. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, I'm Bill Crooms, your local pitmaster right here in Dublin, Georgia with Sonny's Real Pit Barbecue. Come on down for good times, good food, and good friends. Where you can dine in at 9 o'clock or come through the drive-thru at 11.